Good afternoon. It's the day after Christmas. I'm unloading some hay that I loaded in Snowville, Utah. The day before Christmas, I think it was. Yeah. About a 1,200 mile run. Paid us $2,600 to the truck. Not as good as I'd like, but it was better than I'm sure some of these guys got. It takes some negotiating with these brokers. Luckily, I got Mac on my side, and he's a good boy. Yes, he is. He's a good boy. Yeah. So, I'm going to start putting some more videos out there that have to do with rate negotiations and what we're looking at in the trucking world and how we negotiate, what we look for. This is a load board looks like this morning. OKC to Redmond, Oregon. I'm about 90 miles from OKC. So, 2,500. That's an 1,800 mile run. That's, I don't know, what, $1.50 a mile, $1.70 a mile, right around there. Landstar, they're trying to get you to do that. There's a blizzard going through, obviously, out there. Norman to Grand Island, 450 miles, no rate. I'm sure they're trying to, get that done for $800-900. It's a light load. Bennett. Medill to Lake Wales, Florida. Oops. I wonder what happened there. 1,191 miles. That's just over $2 a mile. Not bad. 42,000. Elgin to Annville, PA. 1,386 miles for $3,000. Not bad. That'll cost you a couple, I don't know, $150 in tolls. I don't know what it costs. I don't run up there. Shawnee, 2-hour drive from here to Newcastle. That's 900 miles. With the deadhead, that's 1,000 miles roughly. $1,200. So that's, I don't know, $1.20 a mile, $1.25 a mile at 30,000 pounds. You see what they're doing to drivers. They're trying to get you to take stuff for $1.25. You got to be able to negotiate. They want you to tarp stuff for $1.50 a mile. You can't, I don't know how these people are making it out here with these $3,500 a month truck payments and maintenance on these new trucks that you getting stuff that's under warranty. You got to go to the dealer, $250 an hour. That's the advantage of having an older truck is it's not under warranty. I'm not forced to go do anything. My parts are cheaper. There's many more parts available. On a brand new truck, they don't got a lot of parts out in the system that so you got to there's it's not like aftermarket's gotten a hold of a bunch of new stuff and made it. So you're gonna have to pay, instead of a water pump that costs you $500-600 for my truck, you're looking at $2,500 for something. So Gainesville, Texas to Des Moines, Iowa, 10,000 pounds, $800 for a 700 mile run. How are you supposed to live on $1.10 a mile? Tarps, no Conestogas. They want you to tarp this load for $1.10 a mile. and this is from Standard Logistics Solutions. You know, I don't care what it weighs. That's a load for your trailer. Whether it weighs 10 pounds, whether it weighs 10 pounds or 10,000 pounds. As long as you're putting it on your trailer and it's taking up, which I already know this will take up your entire trailer. He wants you to 8-foot tarps for $1.10 a mile. This is what brokers are doing, and they wonder why people want transparency and they don't want to, you know. And then these brokers complaining, oh, we don't, you know, that's our business, how much we're making. Well, if they want people to do the loads correctly for the money they're paying, and they want the load completed properly, 100%, they're delivered and tarped, well, then they need to pay for what they get. Not, you know, not a $1.10 a mile for something, you know. You can't make it on that. Kingfisher to Roswell, I know that's a vehicle. I mean, a big truck, an international. You know, you could make a little money on that. 500-mile run with a 98-mile deadhead. So you're looking at about 575-ish, 580 miles. Almost, just call it 600 for $1,200. That's just over $2 a mile. You know, it's tall, but the problem is that brings you out to Roswell, New Mexico, which there's nothing that comes out of Roswell, New Mexico for $2 a mile. And these guys know that. It's not like there's industry in Roswell, New Mexico where you can get something. That guy's closing his tarp up. He just hauled a load of hay. Same place where I'm delivering. You can't make no money going to Roswell and sitting there all weekend. You know, here, Gainesville to Como, Texas. That's a good area to get out of. 5,000 pounds. That's a light load. 48 foot long. 516 miles. Loads tomorrow. $915. That is definitely not $2 a mile. You know, the deadhead's not their problem, but it's a two hour drive, burning fuel. So you're looking at, you know, that's 650 miles for $950. You know, they want you to do this for $1.60, $1.70 a mile, and you can't make it. You know, Como, you can get out of Mississippi. You might have to deadhead another 150 miles, whatever, but the rates are good because there's not a lot of trucks out there, you know, in that area. Flatbed only. Full 8-foot drop tarps. This guy's crazy. He wants you to tarp an entire load for $1.60 a mile. That's a full day's run. That's not just a hop skip. You're going to be done and you could reload same day. You know, loads Friday, unloads Monday. You're trying to tie a truck up for $1.70 a mile all weekend long, plus tarp. Look, this guy right here, M. Griffin, he's on crack. R&R Express, miserable people in life, and they wonder why nobody wants to work for him. This load's been on the board, I know for a fact, all morning long. They're not going to get nothing. Nobody's going to take that load. They think everybody's just going home for the weekend, and they just want gas money. They're not willing to pay, you know, for what it costs to actually haul a load. Stillwater to Houston. 1 million trucks end up in Houston. 500 miles, he wants to pay $700. You're not going to get a load coming out of Houston. I don't care that that's a partial. Yeah, that's 8,600, 16 foot long. That's not that. You know, somebody's going to have to be. This is one where you go home for the weekend, and it's a partial. You know, loads today. That's not to me, that's not that bad. You can maybe stick that on your tail end, and you know, but you just got to find stuff that works with those partials like that. You know, Norman to Grand Island. I already know what this is. It's 12,000 pound load of AC units going up to Grand Island, Nebraska. These loads, that's probably paying the broker right there $3,000, right? No joke. I already know. I've hauled these loads before, and he's probably trying to pay $900 for that load, less than $2 a mile. Bennett International. They got 1 million trucks, and they rob people blind, and they're just rolling in the money, and they act like they're going broke, and they got to just cheat people, and it's miserable. It's all these little Gainesville to Goodwell, Gainesville to Tulsa, Gainesville to Goodwell. That's all. They want you to tarp it. $9.50. That's just over $2 a mile. By the time it's said and done, you're traveling 59 miles for less than $2 a mile at that. So you can't make no money doing that. What do they expect people to do out here? They're going to beat people down to the point to where nobody wants to be out here anymore, except some foreigner that's been living on, you know, $60 a month, feeding his family, living in the jungle or whatever. And now all of a sudden, you know, they're living in a truck and they're making $200 a week because some other foreigner sponsor them and leased a truck and has insurance on one truck, but they're running 90 trucks, paying 90 foreigners $200 a week. You know, that's a scam they're doing out here, where they'll have one truck, they'll get insurance on one truck, and that one truck is what they use to book all of their loads. But they'll have, you know, however many trucks leased, and they're booking all their loads under one truck. The brokers don't care. Whether they don't care or they're too stupid to check a VIN number on what insurance they've got, you know, to see if they got all these trucks. You know, it's like it's another scam that's being run. So it's the broker's fault. Norman, okay, that's AC units to Brooklyn, 2,900, 1,500 miles, less than $2 a mile. I guarantee they're getting $3.45 a mile to run that. And you're going to Brooklyn, you're going to pay all kinds of tolls. It costs you money. You don't. Who would do that load for $2,900? Some foreigner that lives out that way, that has to park on the side of the road and gets fined for New York for idling their truck. Who would do this? You know, Medill to Stoughton, Wisconsin, 2,100. That's just over $2 a mile. Let's see what they got. National flatbed, no flats, Conestogas. Utility requires 18 straps, edge protectors, no tarp. You know, them offering that at that rate, believe it or not, you could actually do that load and not complain about it, because even though that's not good money at all whatsoever, it's in the dumps, it's crappy. That's better than what they're offering on other loads. So it's just an example of what's going on in the trucking world right now. It's miserable. It's dog eat dog. People are out here scraping to get by. Too many foreigners. I could care less if people think I'm racist or whatever. Who cares? I'm living it. They're not. And it's it's hard enough in this world already. You can't just open borders and allow people to come across the border that are used to living and working on, $1.50 an hour wages, and expect normal people that can't live on that because they got, normal bills to make it. It's this one world nation where people believe, we can just be all one big happy family no matter where you're from, and we're going to dumb down and water down America with all this cheap labor. It's the liberals doing it. I don't care what anybody says. I could care less about anybody's opinion about anything. It's liberals killing this world. I used to be a liberal. I found the Lord. I realized I was fighting for abortion, for killing babies. I was standing behind that platform when I found the Lord, and I gave my heart to the Lord and repented for my sins. I realized certain things in life that that killing babies is wrong, homosexuality is wrong, and no matter how much you hated Donald Trump at the time, his first tour in office was a circus, and it was so divisive, and it's what got me out of politics to start with. And it's funny how things come full circle, because I'm excited about him being in office this time. I no longer support the Democratic side. They're not the same as what it was when I was young, growing up, and my grandma supported them, and she called herself a Southern Democrat, and I used to call myself a Southern Democrat. I no longer want anything to do with them. It's the blue-haired mafia. They're all useless in this country, and they can all go away for all I care. Go live in another country if they don't like Donald Trump. He has learned his lesson on what to do and what not to do. And I've seen some interviews, and I'm excited that he's in office. Like I said, his first term was a circus. It was a joke. This one, I support him 100%. Joe Biden has ruined this country. Kamala Harris has ruined this country. Everything that's talked about and predicted and prophesied in the Bible is happening as we speak. If you don't know the Lord, you better hit your knees and ask for forgiveness and believe that he died on the cross for our sins, because he did. And the book of Revelations, read it, because it's real. And this has nothing to do with trucking. It's not like, the world's ending because trucking sucks. It's the world's ending because it says it's going to end in the Bible. We live in a fallen world. If you don't know the Lord and the rapture happens, you'll be left here. And you'll be going through the 7 years of tribulation. 3.5 years of good times where people have a false sense of security, where there's peace in the Middle East, peace with Israel. Don't you think things are coming along with Donald Trump getting ready to get in office? He's strong, and there's going to be, it talks about in the Bible, a false sense of security that people will be at peace with Israel. Israel is God's timepiece. It's God's watch. So look at the bad actors in this world. Russia, North Korea. Look at how the chessboard is being moved. Things are happening. You better be prepared. You better know your maker. We all have a maker. So don't think that this is, Chicken Little, the sky is falling. This is serious. Lord sent his only son to die on the cross for our sins. The Bible explains it. If you don't know nothing about the Bible and you don't read much, I think you should check it out on YouTube. There's plenty of Bible reading apps on YouTube. You know, or read the Bible. But I'm sorry, I don't mean to get off of what's going on in the trucking world, but it's just blatantly obvious, you know. Anyways, it's hard out here. I'm going to start showing some loads on my channel as much as I can that we're doing, loads that are being offered on the load board, and what we're doing to make it out here, because it ain't getting no easier. This world ain't full of roses and candy. It's a dog eat dog world, and you got to do what you got to do, and you're expected to do the right thing in life. And if you don't, you're going to hell pretty much. So you got to have faith in the Lord, and you show that faith by your good works. Everybody have a good day, and I'll see you next time. God bless you.